ようございます。Good morning, everyone. お元気ですか？かずえです。はい、今日もジャパンアップデートですね。はい、もう今日は、12月27日ということで、It's December 27. わあ、早いね。ね、いつも言ってるけど、はい。ね、もう本当に年末ですね。もうイヤーエンドですね。はい。皆さんはどう過ごしてますか？ And how was your Christmas? ね、はい。もし見ていたらコメントください。If you're watching, please give me comment. おはようございます。はい。ということで、今日27日ね。で、今日めちゃくちゃ寒いんですよ。昨日も寒かったんですけど、すっごい、it's very, very cold. まだ今お部屋なんでいいんですけど、I'm in the house, so it's okay. But outside is so cold. なんかね、確か気温マイナス1度だった。マイナス1。はい。いや、ファレンハイトなんだろう。ちょっと待って、携帯ちょっと向こうの部屋に置いてきちゃったんで、I forgot my mobile phone is in another room. So すいません。わかんないんですけど、it's about minus one. うん。寒い。皆さんのとこはどうですか？ How about your place? コメントありがとうございます。おはようございます。はい。はい、おはようございます。サイサイさん。アイリスさん。おはよう。はい。ラスカルさん。おはよう、おはよう。はい、オッケー。ありがとうございます。じゃあ、今日のジャパンアップデートですね。あの、今日は、宗教、リリジョンについて、ジャパニーズリリジョンについてお話しします。はい。ちょっと不思議なトピックですね。It's kind of mysterious topic. And usually they think that talking about politics and religion is kind of taboo and too sensitive. But today I'm just to talk about the fact about the Japan, what Japanese believe and stuff. So it's not like comparing or anything. So and we should do this or it's not like that. So just telling you just the fact. So, and just to relax and, hey, I see, hey, really, it's like that. It's okay. ね、so if please don't give us your opinion or you should believe this or anything ね。OK? はい。おはようございます。ハワイからすごいね。スダンさん。どこだ？フィリピンは暑いね。そうでしょうね。フロリダも暑いの？へえ。そう、そっか、南の方だもんね。うん、でも冬寒くなるかな？ならないかな？はい。クリスマスあまり特別じゃない。オッケー、日本語ですね。はい。As you get old ね、特別じゃなくなる。そうですか。へえ。日本だとクリスマスって、なんだろう、it's just an event. event because people looks happy, so we just feel happy and just decorate and then just walk outside and see the illumination. So that's it. ね。はい。OK。ありがとうございます。よかったです。ちょっと喋ってるだけなんですけどね。just chat chat。ドナさん、いつもありがとうございます。You're my supporter. ありがとう。はい。おはようございます。はい。ポルトガルから、はい、ありがとうございます、ブルーノさん。ギリシャから、今日はちょっと聞きたいことあるね、ギリシャの皆さん。はい、I have a question as well. はい、ありがとうございます。じゃあちょっと見ててくださいね。はい、please keep watching. ドバイからも、ね、いろんなところから、ドバイは暑いでしょ。ね、it must be very hot, no? はい。じゃあ、行きましょうか。今日のトピックですね。トピックというか、毎回毎回やってるので、この、新型コロナ、皆さん、I heard this, situation is really, really bad in the Europe and other areas like US。ちょっと本当に心配なんですけど、日本はまだまだ大丈夫。でも、Japan, the situation of the COVID is okay, but it's getting worse. The number of the newly tested positive case. Okay, let me check. Is the ちょっと待って。さっき見た。263. So, newly tested positive case is 263 as of yesterday for one day. ね。はい、263. And no one died from it. And the serious cases are 38. ね。なので、compared to other countries is still okay, but the number is actually increasing, and it seems that the community-acquired infections are detected. So, ちょっと本当に心配です。はい。はい、a little bit worry。でも、今はまだみんな外出かけて、あのこの前っていうか、日曜日に土曜日、the 2 days ago, I did a live from the shrine, 下鴨 shrine in Kyoto. People are out, because it's the shrine, not so crowded, but, people are out. ですね。はい。もし、動画見てなかったら、よかったら見てください。I also posted the video walking in the shrine premises. So it's very nice and feeling calm. ね。It's like a walking in the wood. はい。ということで、じゃあ、COVID のことはね、これでいいかな。はい。コメントありがとうございます。はい。サウスキャロライナ、ちょっと待ってね、バナーを変えよう。こっちね。あれ、ちょっと待ってね。はい。It's not hot. そうなの？ドバイは It's not hot? 東京は寒い。ね。東京 is cold. 今日はね、日本全国寒いですよね。The whole Japan is cold. And the north area, the Sea of Japan area, snowing, actually. 京都も雪降ってたね。はい。はい。It's snowing in Japan is a north area. はい。本当に寒いです。はい。じゃあ次行きましょうか。はい。ということで、今日はちょっと quite interesting topic。ね、日本の宗教、リリジョンについて。これね、本当に不思議なんだけど、不思議っていうか、if you are, born, of course you are born. If you are grown up in only one country and never go out, probably your world is limited. What I say? なんか違う宗教がある人と交わるっていうのは本当に不思議なこと、不思議というか、it's another different world. So I was born in Japan and grown up in Japan, and then I went to the different countries. I visited how many? 26 or 7 countries before, and I also lived in the US, Australia, and Singapore, and I also traveled and see different worlds, and so it's quite interesting that in Japan, we don't have any religious educations. このこともちょっとお話ししますね。I talk about it. Reason why we don't have the religious education, like we don't read the Bible or we don't have a preaches by the monk or anything. Of course, if you are born in the temple or maybe the shrine, the person must have the educations in the family, right? But as a school education, we don't have. And actually, there are religious schools as well. It's a missionary schools, like even it's a private school. Actually, as a matter of fact, my brother went to the missionary school. It's just happened. He just chose the good school, junior high and high school. It was the Christian school. That's it. He didn't choose the Christian school. It's just happened. So he said he had some religions, the subject to learn. ありますけど、if you go to just a public school, like me, I went to all the public school. はい。not a private. No religion subject ね。as a subject of the learning ね。ないんですよ。ないの。だから、そういうのは、なんだろう。So most of Japanese think that we don't have religion. From other side, I mean, the foreigner sees Japanese, if you if you come to Japan, you know that there are so many shrines, so many temples, and people go to the temple shrine for make a prayers, right? For the Hatsumode, year beginning of the year. So many people rush to the shrine or the temple and pray. And also, if someone passed away, we call the monks and make prayers for by the monk, right? So, それ聞いたら, if you hear this, probably you think Japanese are so religious, right? But we ourselves, we don't think because we don't have a fixed God or what's it, make a practice every day. We don't do that. So, and なんだろう, as it's quite sensitive that we don't hear that, do you believe anything or do you believe God stuff? We don't do that. And ちょっと怖いっていうイメージもありますね。you cannot believe, but if you know, if I said, I'm believed in this religion and I make a practice every day. My if my friend hear that, really? What happened? Stay away or something like that. So ちょっとね、不思議なとこもある。あとね、as a matter of fact, the number of, do you know which shrine or the Shinto? Maybe you think that the Japanese original the religion is a Shintoism. はい、神道って、it's, the house is shrine, ね、so called shrine. You know, how many of, and compared to the temple, which is more. はい。だいたい同じぐらいなんですよ。It's about the same. It's for the shrines, it is said about 85,000 shrines exist in Japan. And as for temple, about 77,000 temples, ね、for the registered one. It's about, ね。So it's quite 拮抗してる. It's about the same. So, なんだろう。there's a data that what is your religion according to the Agency for the Cultural Affairs, and it is said 48% are Shintoism and 46% are Buddhism, and for 1% is a Christian and others 4%. Just a data ね。And it's if you see the number of the religion people say this data, maybe I can share that. ちょっと待ってね。ちょっと待って、どうしようららら。カイラ、招待、共有。ちょっと待ってね。ちょっと今回は長くなるかな。これ。ウィキペディアを見ましょう。ウィキペディアです。はい。According to the Agency for the Cultural Affairs, the number of the Shinto is 88 millions, and the Buddhist is 84 millions, and the Christianity is 1.9 millions, and others is 7.4 million. If you in the total, it's more than the Japanese number of people. はい。何これ ?So it's kind of overlapped. ね。あと、they think that you are the Shinto. But it's not really we believe. Yes, we go to the shrine just for make a prayer and take a walk in the premises. But, it's not checking each one of us. So the data is just data. So actually, on the other hand, there's a survey for each, not all of them, each of the nationals say that if do you believe the anything or do you believe in anything, it's only 20 to 30% people said yes. So the majority people thinks that I don't believe anything, or maybe not believing in God. But, 苦しい時の神頼みってやって、only when we suffer, I want to pass exam お願いします。神様、please God, we say that. そう、あのね、都合がいいですよね。So just only depend on the situation, we just believe. So that is a Japanese. It's very big, and we love the festival, but we not really practicing anything. That's the Japanese, and maybe I can talk about the history why we are like this. これはね、すごいなんかね、密接に、it's very, very close to the history and the politics as well. まず昔々、ちょっと待って、コメントちょっと見ましょうね。すいません。長いこと喋りすぎた。お水いただきます。はい。そう。ちょっと待って、どうしてですかっていうのはね、98じゃないですね。it is says, as I said, according to the survey for individuals, only 20 to 30% thinks, believe in something. ね、so majority, 80% about, don't believe. はい。Okay, so あ、ごめんね、コメント、ちょっと読んでるけど。はい。ダニエルさん、ありがとうございます。ちょっと続きましょうか。はい。うん。はい。後でね、ちょっとシェアしますね。はい。ということで、So let's talk about the history. ね。So, you know that many people think that the Japanese is Shinto. Shinto is it's more like a animism and the gods everywhere. We see the very huge rocks. Wow, the god must be inside, or the huge trees, or must be God creations. So it's we believe we love natures and we believe the God creates the natures, but it's God is not the one person. It's not the Father. It's not like it's everywhere, and it's more like a spirit. So it's not like the human shape or anything. ね。So that's the idea and the Shinto ね。で、but we need a story, so they made up the story. So probably you know the Kojiki, the oldest written materials ね、なんですけれども、その昔々ですね、日本は実は、神道っていうのもあったんですけど、they exist the Shinto, but that's not written anything, just hearsay, right? Then, 538年、ご参拝って覚えるんですけど、538 AC, that the Buddhism came to Japan. はい。So, Buddhism is one of the biggest the religion, it is says, but it's born in India, right? The India and then derived to China, then via Korean Peninsula and came to Japan. So it's kind of it's different from the Buddhism in Thailand or other places. And in India, the Buddhism is almost disappear, right? Mostly the Hinduism or the Jainism or other religion, right? なので、ちょっと変わってますよね。Even after the Buddhism came to Japan, there's so many sect. So many sect is it's converted in the Japanese way as well. ということで、ブディズムが来た。But the Shinto it exists already. But the Buddhism is so organized. It is said that to 三宝を敬う respect the three treasure って言って、so one is the 対象ですね、信仰の対象、the Buddha ね、what to believe Buddha or the Shaka 如来ね、so it's someone who reach the enlightenment. Anyway, so the Buddha. And also the second one is the organization or some like the word beliefs like なんだろう so the people came from where, and if you passed away, then where to go, and you do these practices and rituals and the stuff. So that is whole, is the whole the world of the beliefs. And then another one is the monks, and the monks runs the organization, right? So it's more like a business stuff. Actually, I had a chance to talk to the monk from the monk in the Koyasan, the Koyasan. And he said being the monk is nothing different from the working in the company. He said it's because it's so organized. So it's kind of you work in this area and then dispatch to the another temple and stuff. So なんかそう人事とかhuman resources is so organized ね。そうなので、三歩裏回る。So the Buddhism was so organized. So we see that, Japanese, we have the Shintoism. We should learn from it. So then the shrine, the gate, Torii gate is created by learning from that Buddhism. So it's actually the Buddhism and the Shintoism is kind of mixed. So in the old time, it was the same. So Buddhism is a Shintoism. Shintoism is a Buddhism. It's something like that. It's the idea was quite similar as well. So なんかすごい近かったんだよね。で、710年 is 710 in it's the Nara 時代ね。奈良時代はstarted from 710 and during the Nara period, the Kojiki, as I said, is the storybooks, let's say, the oldest written material was published by order of the emperor. So that is Kojiki is something like a mythology, old Japanese mythology. So we need a story. So they just made up the story about the god of Japan. So that is a Kojiki ですね。So it's a Shinto story. It's Japanese identity, they said. はい。でもこれは、if we did not have the Buddhism, we couldn't create the Kojiki. We couldn't organize the Shintoism as well. So the time was 神仏集合と言って、the god, Japanese Shinto god and the Buddhism was mixed. So that is the Japanese old religion かな。はい。はい。で、新宮寺っていうのもあったぐらいで、新宮寺っていうのは、まあ人の名前にもなってますけどね。It's a Japanese some name also, but there's a temple, but 神宮寺ですね。神宮っていうのは、お寺で、お寺じゃない、shrine. Usually it's 神社, right? But some 神社 is 神宮。ね、明治神宮とかあると思うんですけど、it's kind of imperial shrine. Imperial family lands っていうか、this shrine. So it's kind of all big one. ね、はい、神宮寺。So the time is the temple was built in the shrine's premises, and the temple organized the shrines and all the things. So it's quite interesting. The time ね。で、それからですね、after that 戦国時代っていうのがあります。in the battlefield era. ね、probably you know that 織田信長とか豊臣秀吉. Some people know that, right? And next is Edo period, but it's 戦国時代. The time the Oda Nobunaga, who rules Japan, he thought that the Buddhism has much more power. Sometimes they say something through the politics, and they decided. I mean, the Oda Nobunaga did the pressure on the Buddhism. So it's kind of the time was the pressure on the Buddhism. They banned or banish those the temples that time. Mm. Then in the Edo period, the Tokugawa family they tried to organize. That time, no, sorry. In the Edo period, the time was 国学っていうのが盛んになったらしいの。It's a Japanese, they try to nurture the, the nationalism ね、国学。ね、その時、Buddhism was so powerful and they try to suppress on it. So they wants to rule the Japan, right? So they wants to order Japan. So Buddhism was good, but now it's too much powerful. But we have to control the national. So then they brought another religion, which is Confucius. Confucius also from China, and we learned a lot from it. はい。ね、で、they use the Confucius that to organize Japan. I would say it's the control Japanese. ね。で、それで、まあ、いろいろあった。そういうこともあったと。うん。It's that happened. で、so then during the Meiji period, they had the 神仏分離っていうのがあります。They try to separate the Shintoism and Buddhism、because they need to unite the Japan for the time, and especially in the Showa era, that we had the World War, right? We had the World War One and Two. Then is that they try to unite Japan in Japan, so that to fight over the world. So actually, the religion was used to unite the Japan. The idea. So we had a much more nationalism and the Kojiki. I say this kind of mythology story used as the story. It's just a story, but used as a fact of the story and the belief ourselves, and so that unite and fight over the world. So it's 古事記って、その時は、that time, all the time in Japan, in the Showa time, used in the school to teach you the story as a fact. But who believe it? ギリシャの方いたと思うんですけど、it's the Greek, it's a Greek, right? So, do you believe, do you teach, I mean, in the Greece, in the country, did you learn the mythology in the school? Did you learn? In Japan now, no. But the time, all time, the yes. So, そういうことがあった。Yeah. But, as you know, as a matter of fact, the Japan defeated in the World War II, and we are under the US, America, and the GHQ come to Japan, and they see the Japanese that they teaches the Kojiki to unite the Japanese. So they prohibited to teach the Kojiki in the Japanese school. So that's why we don't learn the Kojiki. And actually, we don't know the story, mythology. But if you go to the shrine, there's a story. What is the god enshrined? Ne? So as I said, there are so many gods in the stories. It's the original is Izanami, Izanagi. The two gods united and then give birth the islands and the other gods and the stories. Kind of chaos actually. So who believes? But so we think that it's just a story. It's something like a mythology. Also each country has the mythology. Maybe not all, but like Greece, right? It's quite unique, right? So now we don't learn the Kojiki, we don't learn the mythology, but if you go to the shrines, each shrine has a story and who enshrined, I mean, the god enshrines stuff. So it's quite interesting story. That day we don't learn Jesus mythology, but if you go to the shrines, they have the story. So after we grown up, if you like, we visit the shrine and hey, I see and stuff. So 私も知らなかった。I also didn't know. Just I learned from the internet. Actually, 日本なので、if you Japanese watching this, もし日本の方で見てたら、中田敦彦のね、これはすごく面白い。この人知ってるかな日本の芸人さんなんですけど、It's a Japanese comedian originally. He is in the Singapore, but he talk about the Japanese kojiki and the history and the stuff. Also, there are many topics he talk about. So actually, I learned from him. Also, there are some books. ですね。あと、なんだろう。私も留学してたことが長かったので、I lived in the US for 3 years and Singapore 7 years. And I went to the school. I mean, I grown up in Japan and I went to the school in Japan, graduate university here. But also I went to the US the school. And it was because out of my curiosity, I took the religion class as well. だって日本にないんだもん。Because this Japan, we don't learn the religion. There's no religion subject. So I took the religion class. It was quite interesting. They just teach in this country they believe this and why they believe this and their histories and we read the なんだろう storybook. It's based on the religion. So why this the character believe this and why they think like this way because the deep inside in the we have the different dimensions in the base is the religion. So そういうのが全くない。日本人は in the Japanese, it's very simple and we don't have that. So because of that, I was curious, so I took that. And the school that the teacher, she was grown up the Christian, but out of her curiosity, she went to the Thailand, learn the Buddhism, and also see different world. And she returned to the US, and then now she teaches the religions, and she actually converted to the Buddhism. So it's quite interesting to me. But if you are born in Japan and maybe you don't know the world as a world, we don't know anything. So I was very feel fortunate that I could have the opportunity to go different country and see different worlds. So anyway, so that is why that we didn't learn the Kojiki and that is why we believe that we don't believe anything. we think that we don't believe anything. But from our side, Japanese are very religious because we go to the shrine and the temple and we do the funeral as a Buddhist way. And it's more like way of life. It's more like, なんだろう it's more like a practice or just なんだろう our daily life because people go to the shrine or temple for the Hatsumode, the New Year prayer. We just go. And we have the celebration for the age of 3, 5, 7 and Shichigo-san. So, bring the kids and wishes their growth and stuff. And wedding is quite interesting. Many Japanese have a wedding at the church, but the church could be the church without God. So just like the formality, just like the dress, most of the Japanese newlywed bride wear the wedding dress. And also we have the ritual for the wedding ritual in the Shinto way. We do have, and some people do both. But most of the Japanese do the funeral as the Buddhism way. We call the monk. So, quite 謎ですよね。but that is the way of life of us. So, ねえ。So, the 日本のその especially the Buddhism and the Shintoism actually they mix and we grown up with this and because of the the world war we have to fight, have to unite the Japanese nationals, kind of how to control the Japanese national, use the Shintoism to unite the Japan. But after the world war, GHQ, the US came to Japan and ordered us to stop it, so we don't learn the Kojiki in the school. So now we What do we believe? 何信じてんのっていうふうに言われますね。But, but still, we are like this. But still, we are very organized. And, as you see, the corona situation, we are, the maintain very calm. Sometimes we have the small fight, but I think it's still organized quite good. As I said, actually, I wanted to see the world, and also I didn't like the way Japanese, when I was young, ね、なんだろう、時々言われることもあるんですけど、sometimes they say the kind of Japan is the women's suppressed, but then it's not really that bad if I see the word, but what I say. anyway, that time was I didn't like it. So I went to the US, I went to the different world and see the others, but I really found that Japan is good because it's quite organized and なんだろう、まあ、何を信じるかって人それぞれだし、what you believe is depend on the people and we are very free because the separation of the politics and the religion. So we don't have the national religion actually. So that is good. For me, okay. okay, it's not the comparing. So ね。なので、okay, so maybe it's quite interesting, right? あとね、it's very, very interesting novels. 遠藤周作っていうのがいるんですけど、the guy who 遠藤周作 is a novelist. He lived in 1923 to 1996, and he's actually he's a Japanese. But grown up in the old time, he was young, grown up in the China, and then came back to Japan. He's converted to the Christian. He's actually a Christian, but he is very, very Japanese. And one of his story, and なんだろう、沈黙。Silence. はい。So in the story, there's a missionary talks. The senpai missionary talk to the younger junior priest. ね、they talk. And in the Edo time, they had a fumie. They checked whether you are the Christian or not. The Christian was derived that time, and they tried to suppress it. So the missionary or the Japanese who believe the Christianity, they have to step on the Jesus Christ the pictures. So that time, and then in the story, the senior one he already did, and the junior one have to do it from now. And then the priest talked. The senpai says, the senior say that, okay, what in this country people believe was not our God. It was their God. or maybe gods. we didn't know it for a long time and believed that they became Christians. Okay, so yeah, it was their gods. We didn't know it for a long time and believed that they become Christian. But this country is a swamp, or maybe this country is a marsh. なんだろう、沼地ですね、沼地。is marsh. it's quite long history. It's mixed, separate, and we are ordered. ね、ということで、なんかすごい長くなっちゃったね。はい、ありがとうございました。すいません、途中から見た人、if you watch from in the middle, probably don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe you can rewind and watch. はい。ということで、あ、そうだそうだ。まあ、そんなこと、そう、古事記の話をしましたよ。はい、ありがとうございます。ダニエルさん、いつもありがとうございます。Why discipline in Japan? あと道徳とか倫理とかを教えてますね。In the school, we have the, 道徳ってなんて言うんだ倫理とか、そういうクラスはあります。ちょっと待ってね、道徳。英語で、morality. The moral. There's a school subject, moral. in the school. あったね。エレメンタリースクールとか、ジュニアハイとか、ありました。でも、なんだろうね、でも個性がないとか言われるから、there's no, なんだろう、personalities, compared to the US,なんだろう、it's very unique. We 憧れる we dare, we thinks that the US, the individualism is good. They have their own opinions, the kind of opinion debates. I think that is very, very good sometimes. But we are very, very, ユニフォーマル and 面白くないね。It's not fun. So each country, each individual has a different, so each different is good as well. なんか、いいとこも悪いとこもあると思う。Some good and pros and cons, right? はい。ね、はい、おはようございます。古事記物語でした。はい、Yes ありがとうございますね、皆さん。Thank you. はい。よかった。皆さん聞いてくれたのね。Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it and enjoy it. 映画で見たりとかね、するよね。はい。何これ。犬神社ってあるんだ。へえ、知らない。日本人でも知らないことってたくさんあるんですよ。There's so many things that even the Japanese about Japan. 犬神社。I didn't know that. Maybe I should bring Tommy and go. はい、トミちゃんいつもここにいるんですよ。よいしょ。はい、ここにいつもいます。おとなしくしてくれてる。そう、犬神社ぜひ行きたいです。I really want to go. はい。はい。先生、どうされました？初めて見た方はね、途中から見たらね、変だよね。It's nothing. It's good. 遠藤周作見てる人もいるんですね。はい。はい。Sorry? はい。It's okay. はい。ということで、こんなことを話しました。それとね、日本のね、今の時期って、It's now, it's end of the year, right? これちょっと待って。はい。It's end of the year. So, なんだろう。日本の習慣、as a culture, we have the, お歳暮お中元とお歳暮っていうのがあって、お中元 is the summer, お歳暮 is end of the year. So end of the year, we giving the gift and stuff. So, なんかこんなのもらいました。心ばかりってあるんですけど、これ誰かって友達とかそういうんじゃないんですよ。It's not a friend or it's not a colleague or anything. It's quite interesting that suddenly I just received it. So, what? これ何かっていうと、お菓子屋さんですね。中村藤吉って、it's a matcha shop in the Kyoto and it's all over Japan as well because it's very, very famous. And I buy the matcha sweets a lot because my client and he loves the matcha sweets and the Gojira stuff. So he asked me to buy a lot of stuff, sweets and stuff. Then I sent to the US. はい。なんで、いっぱい買っていっぱい送ってたんですよ。I buy a lot and then send over to him. So, because I'm a kind of patron, right? I buy a lot from this company. So, the company sees that I'm a patron. So he just, the company sent me this sweet. So maybe I can introduce you. ここのはね、本当にすごい美味しいし、It's very, very high class. It's a matcha sweet shop. Okay, anyway, if you want me to buy anything from Japan and send over to your country, please just send me the DM a message. I will do that as a business as well. So, and I will do it for you if you want to buy something from Japan. はい、ということで、このスイート、中村陶器。見たことある人いると思う。なんだろう、これ。嬉しいな。あら、お茶だ、お茶。It's a tea. 大福茶。It's a tea ですね。これ、お菓子じゃないんだ。これもお茶かなあ、これもお茶だ。健常茶だ。うん。It's a very premium、抹茶。茶。ティーですね。抹茶抹茶ではないね。It's 緑茶だ。It's a green tea. 煎茶。煎茶ですね。はい。これは大福茶ってなんだろう ?It's 昆布It's a kelp and vinegar? 昆布か。結び昆布か。It's a tie the thread like kelp. Then ほうじ茶だ。ほうじ茶。Another tea. with the 昆布 just maybe the topping. はい。ということで、こんなのがあります。そう、ジャパニーズ風習です。Japanese culture. It's more like a practice. うん。はい。ということで、今日はここら辺で終わりにします。Thank you so much for watching. And、もう year end ですから、It's all I think this is the last、session for this year. And、また、本年もどうもありがとうございました。お世話になりました。Thank you for your patronage. And、来年もどうぞよろしくお願いします。So please be with me next year as well. And thank you so much. And have a great year end. あと、ニューイヤーライブもしますのでね。I'll do the live for the New Year prayers. So, また会いましょう。Have a great year end. 良いお年をお迎えください。じゃあねはい、バイバイ。皆さんありがとう。ありがとう。はい。はい。すごいね。はい。ティーパケット。okay, you can order me. you can send me the message. I do it for you if you like. Bye bye.